Okay. All right. So, welcome everyone. Welcome, Julia. I am so excited to have you today's Women Empowerment Series. Welcome everyone joining us today. Let us know where you're connecting from. The Women Empowerment Series is a series where we have incredible guests, female leaders from around the world. It's an honor to have you today. We have today with us Julia Hickman, connecting from New Jersey. Welcome, Julia. So
Hi,
happy to have you.
Hi, Dr. Hynd. I'm so happy to be here and chat with you. And what a great video of all those beautiful, smart
Yes.
women. I recognize a lot of them. And
Yes.
yeah, I'm excited to be here and chat with you today.
I'm excited too. This the objective of this series is really to empower and to inspire other women and also men. A lot of men also watch us to really show them what's possible, and the shared experiences from women who have made it, creating digital empire, creating enterprises, reaching high level responsibilities, but or just believing in themselves so that they carry it on no matter what. And so this is, and I know you recognize a lot of them. So all the women have been incredible, and I am so excited about having you today.
Yes, me too.
How is
Yeah.
the weather out there? Is it snowing?
We have had a very mild winter this year.
Really?
Almost no snow, which is strange compared to last year, the past few years when we've had a lot of snowstorms. So this has been a very strange winter. And today, actually, it's about to be in the high 50s, which is
Really?
very,
Oh,
it's like spring basically
it's spring.
over
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
I think this is happening all around the world. We don't even know what is happening, what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely concerning.
It is. So tell me about you. How what did you get? What got you started into building your digital business, and how is it working now?
Yeah, so I started my online career about 7 years ago. Actually, I was working in corporate.
Mhm.
I have a business degree, and I majored in marketing. So I had some jobs in marketing. I also worked in retail management,
Okay.
and then my last job was for a publishing company where I did data management, data governance, a lot of nerdy stuff, but I enjoyed my work.
That's good.
However, I was pregnant with my first child, and
Mhm.
I had that feeling in me where I was like, I have this long commute, and there was no flexibility. It's a bit of a long story, but first they told me, yes, you can work from home a few days. And then they were like, no, actually, we need you in the office 5 days.
Mhm.
So my husband and I decided that I would quit my job and be a stay-at-home parent, at least for a little while. And at the time, I was already doing some personal training on the side just for fun, and so I was like, maybe now is the time for me to start my own career. So
Right.
I started
Mhm.
as a personal trainer, and then that led me down the path of becoming an online fitness coach and lifestyle coach.
Amazing. So
Yes,
you
so
changed from business corporate into fitness.
exactly,
That's
yes.
incredible. What
Yeah, I saw
so,
this need for
uh-huh.
other moms, other busy moms with little
Yes,
kids who,
right.
one, they felt like they didn't have time for exercise or to take care of themselves. And two, some of them had the mentality that if they're not in the gym killing themselves for an hour or maybe even more every day, then it doesn't count, right? Like they're not doing
Which
enough.
is not true, obviously,
So
right?
exactly. So I taught them how, they could squeeze self-care and fitness and a healthy lifestyle into the pockets of their busy lives, whether they were, you know, stay-at-home moms like me or busy career women or even entrepreneurs, they could still have time for themselves. And so I
Mhm.
ran that business for a few years. And then I came to the point where I was like, okay, I'm ready to take this to the next level. And I
Amazing.
was actually pregnant with my second kid at the time. And again, it was that
Congratulations.
moment of like, okay, here it is, this, here I am. And I just felt like I was doing so much for the business and not getting enough back. So I
Mhm,
made the tough decision of putting the business on pause, on hold, and
mhm.
I started a new business because I was so excited about my newfound passion in podcasting. Um,
Ah,
yeah, so I had been using podcasting for the fitness business as a
okay.
guest,
Mhm,
and it had allowed me to make connections, get clients, and it really aligned with my personality. I like,
mhm.
I don't mind being on video, but I so
Mhm.
much more prefer the convenience of audio.
Right, really when
And
you have children around you, so you don't worry about the mess behind you, everything is okay.
exactly. Yeah, you can just go into you can go into your closet to record episodes if you
That's
need
right.
to. You don't need to, have your hair and makeup done nicely or anything like that. So
Exactly.
there's definitely some, for especially for
Convenience, yeah.
for busy mom, there's a lot of convenience in in podcasting. So that's a little bit of the story of how I got to now and what I'm doing now. And
So
yeah.
do you still do your training and fitness business, or you just put that aside and you're focusing on podcasting now?
Yeah, so I put that on hold. I just I had to make the decision like, okay, do I want
Yeah.
to run two businesses? But then I'm like, no, I feel like then the businesses are going to run me if I do
Mm,
that. So
true.
I decided to put it on hold. I actually still work with a couple of one-on-one clients in
Wonderful.
fitness.
Uh-huh.
But it is not something that I'm out there promoting really. So the focus really is all in the
In the
podcasting
podcasting,
business.
yeah.
Yeah.
And, what about, like the fitness you work on few clients because you work for yourself as well, so it helps you, right? So you could still put that embedded in your timeline, and it feels good for you and feels good for others, which is something you probably can continue on doing, isn't it? Fitness is for you,
Exactly.
yeah. Do you do
Yeah,
it on
definitely.
Zoom as well, or do you do the training on Zoom as well for the fitness?
No, the clients I have are in person, actually.
Okay,
They're local in
fantastic.
person.
Oh,
Yes.
that's really nice. So,
Yes.
what advice would you give? You said that it's not about staying for 1 hour at the gym to actually feel fit. What does it take to feel good, to feel like
Yeah.
you're taking care of yourself
I
as an entrepreneur, as a mother, as a busy woman? Like, what
yeah.
does it take?
Yes, that's a great question, and I think that it's what holds us back,
Mhm.
even maybe not even in fitness, but also in business. Sometimes we think, "Well, I need to be pouring in more time in order to get a better results," right? Like, we
Yes.
think we need to exercise more, we need to do more cardio,
Mhm.
to get a result, and we need to, I don't know. We need to be on more social media platforms and post more and reach out more to get the results. And sometimes it's not about doing more, it's just about doing it in a smarter way and in a way that feels good to you. Because
Mhm.
the main thing that allows you to get a result, whether it's fitness or business, is doing something consistently,
That's
right?
right.
So if we are making ourselves do things that we don't like, if I'm,
Yes.
if I read some study that said that in order to be in the best shape ever, that I need to, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a crazy example. I need to go boxing every day, right? So I need to
Okay.
do like
Okay.
kickboxing every day.
Mhm.
But what if I hate that? What if I hate it? I'm not
Yeah.
going to do it, right? So then I'm not
First,
going to be able to get in the
mm,
shape that I want to be in,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So um that's really the biggest takeaway I think that I can give anyone. It's about doing things smarter and finding what they enjoy
They
doing.
enjoy, right,
Yeah,
yeah.
and sticking with that. And what I
Like those
found
those
yeah, what I
mhm.
found worked the most for women was a combination of doing, you know, making sure that there is some cardio, but that could just be walking like, it doesn't mean that you have to run or be on a machine for an hour. It could be
Like
a
walk a
20-minute
normal
walk.
walk, or it has to be fast walk to be counted?
Yeah,
Like a
that really, um, that requires a little bit deeper deeper
yeah,
looking into, but I would say for the most part, um, as long as you are, y you know switching it up. So doing slow walks and then faster walks, maybe
Interesting.
incline,
Mm.
walking on an
Intermittence,
incline.
right? Like, okay, I see.
Yeah, it's like,
Well,
keeping the muscles, adding
there.
surprise to the
I
muscles.
wanna greet, Toyosi coming joining in from UK, Esma joining in from Tangier. It's good to have you. If you have any question for
Hello.
Julius, let us know. We're talking fitness and we're talking podcasting. 2 things,
Yes. 2
really.
things, yeah.
But these 2 things, what they have in common is it's a digital, it's an entrepreneurship, and it's starting a business each time and actually making it work, right? I think that's what it is. It's being able to have an idea, launch it, and make it happen and make it work. Isn't it? I mean, like, what
Exactly.
would you summarize as, from your both experiences? Because these are 2 different sectors, but what do they have in common, do you think? In your
Yeah, so
experience?
for me, what I found, the commonality that I found in either podcasting or just business overall, so whatever I'm saying business, but I'm talking about like any growth strategy that somebody
Mhm,
wants to implement in a business, right? And
mhm.
fitness is that we can think that, um, we need to make that goal, whatever it is. So whether it's like improving your fitness or growing your business, we think that that needs to be like the main thing in our lives. And
Yeah.
then everything else starts to crumble. Like our
Mm,
relationships crumble because all of a sudden we don't have time for our relationships. Our kids, like we don't have enough time or enough energy for our kids or our spouses or significant others, right? So
mhm.
my philosophy when I was running my online fitness business was that I helped women make fitness improve but not consume their lives.
I
And
love that.
so
I love that.
yeah,
That's
and so
very
this
powerful.
thing now in podcasting, what I say is I help entrepreneurs, um, make their business improve, but not consume their lives
Yes.
because I don't
Oh,
want people to think that
I
they
like
need
the
to.
analogy.
Yeah,
Mm.
so it's the same. It just,
It is
it
the
just
same.
applies to it a little bit differently, but it's
Mm.
still that's still my goal is to help people, help entrepreneurs, um, you know, feel like feel supported
Uh-huh.
so that they can focus on the things that they're good at, and that so
Right.
that they still have the extra, um, brain space to do the other things that they love, like spending more time with their families or, traveling or whatever it is that they wanna dedicate their time to. And it
Mhm.
also applies to, not necessarily entrepreneurs, but even professional women,
Mhm.
because if you're a professional woman and you're trying to move up in your career, you're still a personal brand, right? So it's almost like you do have to look at your work as a business in a way. So it's important to keep that in mind too.
Yeah. And being a mom, mom and an entrepreneur, because you didn't choose something easy. It's something that requires your continuous presence. When you launch a company, it's not like you're working for someone. You are a boss, and you have to act as a boss, and you carry all those responsibilities. How do you manage to find that balance? Do you work less? Do you spread your hours? What do you do? I mean, like, and I know a lot of women watching us, they all, mothers, they have other issues to carry about, maybe their parents, their, things to be, they are responsible for other things. So how did you find that balance?
Yes,
Yeah.
it definitely requires a team. And by team I mean I do have a husband who helps out a lot. So my
Wonderful.
kids are 7 years old. So my 7-year-old son, he is in school. So he's in
Okay,
school,
so that's good.
full
Yeah.
time pretty much. And my goal is that every day I want to be done by the time he comes home from the bus. So
Oh,
I
that's
wait for his
nice.
his bus, and that's, mommy's
what
done
time is
working.
what time would that be?
It's
Is you
about 3:30,
Okay, so
PM.
you have to condense like from 8 to 3. But that's
Right,
enough time
yes.
though. I mean, that's like what, 5 hours?
It's about 5 hours, yeah, and then I have my 2.5-year-old who goes to a part-time preschool,
Okay.
and she goes from 9 AM to 12 PM.
Okay,
So,
so you
again, during that time, I get,
focus
work
completely.
time, focused work time. Then we
Yeah.
come home, we have lunch together, and then I put her down for her nap. And that's when my work continues. So I do have a break
So is
of,
that really, if we were to count that, that's gonna be like what, 4 hours? Maybe 3
I
hours
would
and a half?
say,
4
yeah. So I would say about 3.5 hours of
That's good.
uninterrupted work time.
That's
So it
amazing
takes,
because
yeah, it takes being focused. And like I said, having a husband who pitches in, so even like if one of my kids is homesick, for example, and I have a call, and if he happens to be working from home, then if his schedule allows, then he'll watch the kids while I'm doing the call. And also, it takes, I think there's one thing that sometimes we make ourselves wrong as
Mhm.
entrepreneurs is we feel like, well, we can never work at night or we can never work on a weekend. And I've given myself the flexibility that if I'm sick or if my kids are sick and I have to finish something at night, that's okay. Do I want to do that every night? No. But if I have to do that sometimes, it's just about giving yourself the permission to be flexible to do what you need to do in your business as long
Yeah.
as it makes sense for you, right?
Well, I think you said it very well because it's not it's your business, and it's whatever work you put in, you will see it. You will see it whether right away or maybe later on. It will pay. So that you need to put in the work. I don't think being an entrepreneur is very. It's an easy thing that comes with easy. It's not an easy ride at all, but you need to put in the work. And once you have it, and once you've set up the foundations, then it's going to build yourself up on something strong. And yeah,
Yes, absolutely.
it does take work. Anything takes work, really. I mean,
It
even
does.
even organizing your house, taking care of your children, it's not even work. It's like just your full presence in it. And I
Yeah.
think that's what brings the balance in whatever we do. It's like when you truly give your presence, like you have those hours where you can focus, and you focus. It's like me too. I mean, I know that my children, when they come, I have the little one who is now just turned 6. She will just come and show up. It's like, hi. She got used to being part of our lives. So she comes and say hi, and it's okay. I mean, so we learn how to um, juggle all the different roles, and more you give the presence to every facet, whatever it is. It's your professional life, it's at home with your children, with your husband. Then you are able to learn how to juggle. And I think the tough part for every woman, and every woman entrepreneur and mother and wife and all that, is to learn how to juggle these things. That's what's hard. But once you learn, then it just becomes easy. It's your way of being. It becomes your lifestyle. And
Exactly.
yeah.
Yes, I totally agree. It's a continuous journey, right? It's never done. So it always requires work and improvement. And I think that's what makes
Mm,
anything fun, right? Because if we're going to do something, like if you're going to take on a project or if you're going to start a business, start a podcast,
mm,
typically, you're probably wanting to start these things because you you enjoy whatever it is behind it, right? You want to stand for something. You want to share your knowledge.
right.
So if you don't want to show up for it, then it's almost like, why do it, right? So
Yeah.
we have to know that there's going to be work required to get it going and to get it improving and to get it to give us the result that we want.
We have a question from the chat from Toyosi, so I'm going to pull her up. Thank you, Dr. Hin and Julia, for this platform. Oh, sure, you're so welcome. My question is, what made you go into entrepreneurship, and how sure were you of that step you took back then? Okay, Julia.
Oh, I love that question, Toyosi. Thank you for asking that. What made me start my journey into entrepreneurship, I would say, 7 years ago, was the desire to want to be home with my son at the time
Mhm.
because, I had mentioned, I don't know if you caught this, but, when I decided to quit that job, my husband and I said, "Okay, stay home for a little bit. I can handle it, but, we'll see," right? Like, so there was still that possibility that I would probably have to go back to, a 9 to 5 job. But once I cut ties with my employer, I was like, "I don't wanna go back." I loved being home with my son, so I wanted to find something that would allow me to keep that lifestyle.
Mm,
And the obvious thing for me at the time was I was already doing personal training, in person. So I was thinking to myself, how do I scale this? How do I help more people? How do I reach more people? And also create this ripple effect, this movement where I can teach women that they can take care of themselves and it doesn't have to require hours and hours of their
mm,
time.
mm,
So that was that was like the main driver behind my desire to start this journey of entrepreneurship. And from there, it's just evolved. It's now my desire not just to help women, but more specifically entrepreneurial women.
mhm.
Not even necessarily women, because I've
You work
worked
with
with men
both,
before,
yes.
but yeah,
Mhm,
primarily, I feel like women, we tend to kind of attract each other.
yeah.
But yeah, it's just to help them see that they can, for example, use podcasting as a way to reach new audiences. And if they want to start their own podcast, how it could be such a great tool to help them market themselves and to, warm up their audiences and to be able to sell to them in a way that feels good because they're already giving them so much value each week.
Mhm.
So, yeah, that's my answer there. Let me know if you have any other follow-up questions.
I think this is beautiful. I mean, it says that, the being an entrepreneur was more fit to the quality of life you wanted so that you can give the time to your children and be the mother you want to be. And, being an entrepreneur, I think we can add that to the question, is when you take that step, you anyone who's taken it and who kept it and believed in it and did the work and was able to just keep on believing even if they didn't see the result as they want them to, have no regret of that choice, because usually they are much better off. Usually even the results are better because you make the work, you make it happen, and it you get better um, appreciation from it in terms of wealth creation, in terms of time balance, and in terms of managing your own schedule. And what's hard is to make that decision. That's what is always the tough part. But
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely. And I can say, making the decision to quit my job, it
Mm.
wasn't easy, even though I really wanted to be able to stay home. But it wasn't like we made the decision in 5 minutes. We really thought about it because we didn't really um I had expected to be able to continue working, thinking that I was going to work from home a little bit, and that would give me a little extra time with my baby. But we didn't really like prepare for it. It's not like we were saving extra money.
Yeah.
So it really was all of a sudden like my income was gone, right? So it was it was scary, um, of course, but we also knew that the benefits outweighed anything else.
Mm.
And of course, I know that comes from a place of like, I have the privilege that I have a husband who was able to support us on his own for a while. And not everybody has that. So I know that, it's not easy for somebody to say, okay, I'm going to quit my job and jump into starting a business. But I think like the lesson here is that you could take from me is that you could start, if you know that you want to quit your job one day and you want to start your own business, you can start saving now. Or you could even, start that
Start it
business on a
right.
part-time basis. So like do it how you can and how it makes sense for you and for your situation.
Mm. She's very grateful. That is great. Thank you.
Oh,
That's
great.
wonderful
Thank you.
to see. I'm so happy. Yeah, and I love that because I mean your story is inspiring to so many women, because we get often faced with the decision of needing to go to work, leaving the children, or staying with them, and being able to take that leap it takes a lot of courage, but also a lot of love and caring. Yeah, yeah.
It does. Yeah. I mean, I gotta admit that first year not having that income, it was a little bit. nerve-wracking. We had to be careful with spending and all of that. But then, as my business started growing, then, you know, we started to relax a little bit more
A
too.
little.
And it's as long as you're like working towards making progress, I think it all ends up working out. And especially if you have like that burning desire in you to start something. Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong. I really don't
Yeah.
think so. And like me, I started one business and then now I'm running a different one. Will I reopen my first business
You
again
see,
online? I don't
you
know.
see, you don't know
Yeah,
what's
I
gonna
don't
come
know.
around.
But,
We said,
I'm
yeah.
here and I'm still just doing me.
I love what you said, and I think this is a good way to wrap up this beautiful conversation. Is we are all in a context and a journey of growth and evolution over a lifetime. It's not growth and evolution over, okay, 6 months I'm going to make it work, and year. No, take it
Yes.
as a lifetime. And when you look at things like that, it's just you embark in anything you embark on with a relaxed mindset, with a true belief that whatever you do, you are growing. Whatever you learn, you are going forward. Whatever mistakes, success, appreciation, celebration, it's your own evolution and the evolution of what you do. And once you take it this way, the journey can be delightful and fun, and you get to do all of what you want, really. Your beautiful life, beautiful children, beautiful family, and a beautiful business. And that's really nice. Mm.
Exactly. I love that.
Congratulations, Julia, for the amazing thing you are doing and for the work and for being such a beautiful mom. I think it's just so nice to be able to see that, you can be an entrepreneur, a businesswoman, and do that in a time where, you give space for everyone else. So we
Thank
have a
you.
lot of
Thank you
people
so
saying a
much.
lot of good things. That's nice, amazing.
Thanks, everybody.
Everybody, great
Mhm.
session. So thank you all for being with us. I have and having a beautiful guest, Julia Hickman. So nice to have you. Thank you for coming. It's an honor to have you. Do you want to say one last word before we wrap up?
Yeah, sure. I don't know if it's okay to share where to connect, but if anybody wants to connect further with me, you can find me on Facebook. I'm also on LinkedIn. I do have a podcast, so if you would like to learn more about either podcasting, or I also share a lot of lifestyle tips and just how I do things in a smarter but not harder way. The name of my podcast is the Elevated Femmes Movement.
So
So
if
you
you
can
can
find
later drop the link on the Facebook and also on the LinkedIn thread, that will be amazing. So because this series I usually watch on replays as well, and it would be nice to be able to connect with you, Julia. That's
great.
wonderful.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hind.
Thank you all for being with us. Bye bye.